If you drop a child into any home in the world, they will learn to speak. It happens naturally without any formal instruction. But if you drop that same child into a library full of books, they will never learn to read. This is not because they aren't smart, it's because reading is not natural. And treating it that way is why so many children are failing to read. I'm Rebecca. I run a tutoring company based in structured literacy in the Orton-Gillingham approach. And most of the kids who come to me are failing to read because they were taught as if exposure alone was enough. In this video, I'm going to explain why the brain isn't wired for reading and what that means for how we teach it. This string represents the entire timeline of human language. So we have been speaking for over 100,000 years. And during that time, our brains were being shaped by spoken language. And there's a dedicated speech center in the human brain. But we only invented written language about 6,000 years ago. This little sliver is not nearly long enough to evolve a reading center in the brain. To read, the brain has to do something wild. It has to take the part of the brain designed to recognize faces and objects and physically rewire it to recognize letters and sounds. Scientists call this neuronal recycling. Every time a child learns to read, the brain is doing something it was never designed to do. And that does not happen automatically just because books are nearby. So where does that leave the advice most parents are given? This is where the modern education system and well-meaning advice often gets it wrong. We are told, just read to them, create a literacy-rich environment, it will click. That works for speech because the brain is wired for it. It does not work for reading. Expecting a child to read just because they're exposed to books is like expecting them to learn to drive by sitting in the passenger seat. They might learn what a car is, but they won't know how to operate the machinery. Reading works the same way. Immersion builds the love of it, instruction builds the skill. So if your child is struggling, take a deep breath. It's not because they aren't smart. It's because their brain hasn't finished that rewiring process yet. The good news is we know exactly how to build that circuit. We don't guess, we build it step by step, sound by sound. There is a specific sequence, and it starts with something you can do today. The next time you sit down with your child, don't just point at words on a page. Play with the sounds in those words. Say a word, break it apart, put it back together. That is where reading actually begins. And if you want a structured way to do that every day, that is exactly what our early reader cards and our curriculum are designed for. We built it because exposure alone was never going to be enough. Every activity works through that rewiring process in the right sequence. Sound by sound, the way the brain actually needs it done. There's no guessing, no waiting for it to click, just clear, proven path to reading. Click the link below to get started. I also have a playlist called How Kids Learn to Read. It's the next logical step from everything we just covered. Click it right here.